Occasionally, I do something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make a you know what I'm talking about. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the side, Jawn. I am your host, Sharon, the chocolate girl, the chocolate writer. There's my website. You see that right there, down there. Yes, I'm Sharon, your host, and I have got to apologize. It's almost 12 o'clock. I'm embarrassed to tell you that I just did a whole show and I was not live. So I'm repeating the show now. Thank you very much. I just couldn't believe I did it. When I looked at the screen and I was trying to turn it off, I was like, why isn't it? I was never on. Don't tell anybody. Shh. Don't tell anybody this happened. It's been that kind of morning. But welcome to the side, Jawn. We're here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Unless there's technical difficulties like today. Or me just being a bonehead. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyway, I had a good time the first go round. So hopefully this will go just as well this time. So anyway, goofy me. It's almost 12 o'clock. Our show would normally be ending right now. So anyway, welcome to the side, Jawn. Please like and share the show. I don't have a producer with me today. So if you can share it, please do. Please do that for me. All right. So I want to talk about something that's a little bit controversial, right? Here on the side, Jawn, we are always here to help, but we're also not afraid to have those uncomfortable conversations about controversial things. All right. And usually I have my co-host here and we can ramble about it and play off each other, but it's just me today. And I hope you'll hear me out and join me and stick with me through the show. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So let's get started. So recently, we were given the news that Hulk Hogan passed away. Remember him, of course. One of the most famous WWE wrestlers of all time, changed the game, the league, everything. And larger than life Hulk Hogan is no longer with us. He passed away. And that sparked a lot of debate. Should we be celebrating? Should we not? Do we love him? Do we hate him? People are actually going to war in social media. Those who are still fans and those who used to be fans are arguing back and forth, putting the others down because of how they're reacting to his death. So I thought it would be interesting outside, Jawn, for us to talk about it. Let's talk about it. We've got me some wonderful slides here today. Let me see. All right, so let me share the screen. All right, so let's go. So in July of 2015, just think back, WWE legend Hulk Hogan, his real name was Terry Bollea. He was abruptly removed from the organization's programming and website after leaked audio revealed him using racist slurs during a private conversation. They're always having these private conversations and somebody leaks it. I wonder why that always happens. But anyway, this scandal resurfaced due to his death back on July 24th. He was 71 years old. There's been renewed scrutiny about his legacy. And they just came out and confirmed that, by the way, that his cause of death was a heart attack. In case you all didn't know that. Heart attack's not a fun thing for anybody, so I don't wish it on anybody, but that appears to be what caused his death. That's what we've been told at this time. All righty. So the remarks that he made surfaced as part of a sex tape. He was doing a sex tape, I guess, at the center of Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker Media. I don't know if you remember Gawker Media. It was more of a tabloid media site. Used to put all kind of things out. He sued them and won. And they ended up filing bankruptcy. So there's no more Gawker Media. But anyway, this tape included racist sentiments about his daughter Brooke's relationship with a black man. He used racial slurs and admitted to being a racist to a point while discussing her relationship. WWE said, no. They swiftly terminated his contract, removed all references to him from his website, including his Hall of Fame profile. And they issued the statement, the usual statement that organizations use when someone that's with them embarrasses them. And they came out and issued a statement affirming that they're committed to diversity and inclusion and people from all nationalities and races, people who are different than each other. Hogan, of course, later gave some lame apology publicly saying that my language was unacceptable and it's not who I am, which is typical for racists to say after they've been caught. We have all heard that before, right? I'm sure you have, especially if you're as old as I am. You've heard it before. So let me see. Let me share this next one with you. Promise you I did this a lot better the first time I did the show this morning. All right. So additionally, racially charged comments surfaced from a year after that claim of jailhouse phone calls between Hogan and his son, Nick, who was serving time for a car crash that left one of his friends permanently disabled. Okay. So in one of those calls, there was Hogan using the N-word, making stereotypical remarks about race, further complicating his public image. Now, 7 years later after that, in an interview with People magazine, he expressed remorse again. It was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive language. There's no excuse for it, and I apologize for having done it. This is not who I am. Yeah, I could see him clutching pearls while he said it. Then he later reiterated that he believed every person in the world is important and should not be treated differently based on race. It's hard to believe that he really feels that. And we're going to get into what exactly he said. So it's just hard for me to believe that that's really how he feels given what he said. All right. And I believe that the things that I'm about to share with you are just a couple of things that he said. I think he actually said more than what's being reported. Personally, that's what I believe. But you never know. All righty. So I'm going to share this with you. So here's what else he said specifically. He said, I'm a racist to a point. Effing N-words. He said, I'd rather if she was going to F some N-word, referring to his daughter, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot tall N-word worth $100 million, like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little racist. Effing N-words. That's not who I am. That sounded pretty much that's how you are to me. But anyway, he emphasized, this is the killer. This is what really got me. He emphasized that he grew up in an environment where such words were normalized, as if that's supposed to absolve him of any wrongdoing. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So because of your upbringing, we're supposed to think, oh, okay, well, he was taught to do that. This man is 61 years old at the time. We're supposed to say, oh, poo poo. He was taught that he's a victim. Victim? I think not. So anyway, like I said, it's deflection. It's nothing but conflection. Deflection, just to contextualize hate as something inherited rather than owned, rather than directly taking accountability. Something he never could do, seems like to me. He implied that his upbringing was to blame. Now, for me, the apology was lame. It was disingenuous. It was more for damage control than a moment of reflection. But by emphasizing and re-emphasizing and doubling down on environmental influence, he tried to position himself as a passive product of his surroundings, rather than an active participant in shaping his beliefs and saying what they were. So at the time, he was 61 years old, like I said. So the idea that somebody of his age and stature was still hiding behind environmental conditioning, that didn't sit well with the fans, including me. So especially those of us who had supported him for decades across racial and cultural lines. We liked him. We didn't care what his race was. We liked him. And that was our dude. We invited him to the cookout, so to speak. And yet, what does he do? He did what he did. He said what he said. And he said it with his chest. Because if you heard those comments back then, he was really saying it, like feeling it, like from the gutter. He wasn't just, it didn't just, softly roll out of his mouth. Not at all. So WWE reinstated him to the Hall of Fame in 2018, but there's mixed reactions to that. Many fans, they continue to embrace his contributions to the industry. So for him, the apology, even though it was flawed, that was good enough for them. Now that he's gone, they're mourning the loss of a childhood idol, not the shortcomings of the man beneath that bandana he used to wear all the time. They focus on the performer, not the person. Well, back then, WWE even stated that he had apologized to the talent and reflected on the incident. What does reflected on the incident even mean? Let's see. I do something wrong. I get caught. I come meet with my bosses and say, I thought about it. And because I thought about it, okay, we'll forgive you because you thought about it. That's reflecting. What is that? But hey, that was enough for the WWE. So many fans and wrestlers, we all remain critical. It was so bad, it had gotten so bad, even now, that he was often booed at public appearances, right up to the last one he did for the WWE this past January. He was still getting booed about this stuff. That tells you how serious people are about this. You did damage, dude. You can't just sweep this under the rug. It's not going away. No matter how much you think or feel it should, it didn't. Okay. All right. So many of us, especially us fans of color, Black people, Latina, the pain is still here. So his comments weren't just disappointing. They were personal to us. This was a man that we looked up to. Like I said, we invited him to the cookout, right? He helped bring people of color to wrestling that weren't watching it before. All right. So to find out that somebody like him held contempt for us all along, unless they were wealthy or famous, of course, because we often saw him hobnobbing with the rich Black folk. That's a betrayal that's just too deep to forget. We can't just forget that just because he's famous. No. So for us, his passing is just not the death of a celebrity. It's the final chapter in a long story that ended long before his life did. He once stood as a symbol of strength and perseverance, but he'd already fallen from grace for us long time before he passed away. I mean, we haven't been rocking with him for a long time. And I think you should be able to see why. I read to you some of the comments that we actually got on tape that he said. What about the things we didn't catch on tape that he probably said? I mean, we would be well within our right to think that he said some other things. But to be fair, let's be fair. We are also about being fair here on the side, Jawn. Separating the art from the artist has long been a contentious yet persistent debate in entertainment culture. And we know this. From athletes to actors, musicians, fans often grapple with where to draw the line between legacy and morality. We can name people like Lance Armstrong, Bill Cosby, O.J. Simpson, even Kobe Bryant. He wasn't found guilty, but people still, after his passing, still kept going back to that Colorado SA case and vilifying him in his memory after he passed. All these op-eds out here written about him. Nah, it's not inappropriate to talk about it. He wasn't even found guilty. But hey, is that focusing just on the legacy and ignoring something that he supposedly did? So is this the same situation as what happened with Hulk Hogan? Does definitively knowing the person did something versus being alleged to have done it make a difference? Should it? I mean, it's something to really think about. For me, it does make a difference. Allegations are allegations. If they're never proven, or I don't see like a preponderance of evidence out there that maybe the powers that be missed and they got their decision wrong, if I don't see anything like that, then yeah, it kind of does make a difference with me. So Kel Dansby, he's a Black writer for Uncrowned. That's the name of the outfit, the media outfit. He asked the question, should you shed tears for a racist? Talking to people of color, of course. Should you shed tears for a racist? It's not a rhetorical or an accusatory question. It's one that speaks to the heart of modern fandom, especially here in America. It speaks to fandom, legacy, and the right to grieve selectively. How you choose. Do we have to all grieve the same? No, we don't have to all grieve the same. No. But just think about it. Hulk Hogan, like I said, he was larger than life. He was entertaining. He revolutionized professional wrestling. He was one of the most famous and iconic public figures all over the world. He made it to a Rocky movie. Come on. But is that enough to celebrate his life without acknowledging his very public moral failings? And let's just face it, without acknowledging that he was a self-avowed racist. He was. He kept showing it. This is no longer 2015. He's been showing up at rallies for the current occupant of the White House, making statements that say, hey, he hasn't changed in how he feel. He probably was just sorry that he got caught. So anyway, for me, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, for me, where I stand with it, because it was difficult. You know, as a kid, I watched wrestling. I watched pro wrestling with my dad all the time. Back in the day when it was the old wrestlers like Bobo Brazil and the Iron Sheik and Roddy Piper was back then. And of course, the other one, the one that everybody likes now. Can't think of his name right now. But anyway, we used to watch wrestling together. And I liked it for a long time. But then over time, what started happening with me is it got to be more tabloid, less fun to me. It also started looking more fake. Because see, before, that was real blood that people would shed back then in the day for a while. And then all of a sudden, it started to become more fake and choreographed. And it just didn't appeal to me as much. Here comes Hulk Hogan. He was more than just a wrestler. He was he was a character. So we followed him. We were waiting to hear what little funny saying he was going to have. It wasn't just about the wrestling. And then he was kicking everybody's butt too. It was fun. And it brought some people younger than me to the sport who weren't watching it before. They came because of Hulk Hogan. So yeah, for me, I know who Hulk Hogan was. I know what he meant to wrestling. I used to be a fan, especially seeing those iconic interactions between him and Macho Man Randy Savage. I couldn't wait to see the next one. I loved it. I did. But after those comments came out, I mean, look at me. I'm a Black woman. I can't hide that. I am. How am I supposed to feel? Like I said before, imagine I've been rocking with this dude, supporting him as a professional wrestler all these years. And now it comes out, this is how you feel about my people? My brother? Because she was dating one of my brothers in the culture. And this is how you came out talking about him. I couldn't just shake that off and pretend like I didn't hear about it or I didn't see it. I couldn't do that. So just to tell you briefly about me, something else about me. I grew up in a family that embraced everybody. Okay. Didn't matter your race, religion, didn't matter. We embraced everybody. We were a loving family to people, right? We used to go to church. Our church was of all races. There were plenty of white people in my church that didn't just sit in the back pew and hide out. They were actually in leadership roles, Black and white, standing there together. I remember in our choir, we had a couple that used to sing with us, 2 or 3. They used to sing together with, Black vocalists in our church. And we sounded good. It was church. Then when I went to high school, it was 97, 98, 98% Black. It still is for the most part now. But anyway, it was 98% white. I'm sorry. Did I say Black? 98% white. And so what? My parents, they were both professionals. They were surrounded by white people in their job, in their careers. So I would often see white people in a professional setting with them. When I would go to my mother's job, because she used to work in an office that was right next to where I went to elementary school at one point, and I would sometimes come up to her office, there's a whole bunch of white people. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Miss So-and-so. That's how we were raised. We weren't raised to hate them. We were raised to know that they hate us, though. My father shared with us. He got invited to one of his co-workers' house for a function. He went, comes out of the function. Somebody had vandalized his car, his brand new Chevy, keyed it down, like ripped into the metal all the way down the side of it. I believe, Sheila could correct me if I'm wrong, if she's in the comments. I believe they wrote the N word on it. I believe. I just can't really remember now. I was really a little girl. And yeah, all just because he's a Black man in their house. He didn't do anything. He wasn't threatening. He just went to the party, dressed, because my father always dressed up. He didn't dress casual. He didn't even own a pair of jeans until he turned 65 years old. And that's a true statement. He didn't even go get his first pair. We had to buy them for him. He never had sweatpants or jeans till he had retired. So that was him. That was his experience. That happened. Then I'm in high school. I believe it was my sophomore year. I got invited to a party with one of my fellow students who went to my predominantly 98% white high school. She's Latina. But this is when I found out that they considered themselves to be white and not black. This is how I found out. Went to her house, and her mom was kind of taken aback. I guess Maria didn't tell her that she had invited myself, and she invited one other black girl to the party because she was visibly shaken. And while she did speak to me, you know how you get that, hi, yeah, okay, yeah, you can sit right there, that type of treatment. But when her father showed up, Mr. Torres, it was a wrap. He literally took time to speak to all those other little girls, because she only invited girls to her party. He didn't even acknowledge that I was even there, me or the other little black girl that was there. Wouldn't look at us, talk to us, nothing. I called my parents. I was like, nope, time to go. Come get me. One and only time. I probably was there maybe 30 minutes. I learned. Still didn't hate white people after that. I'm not going to use what happened to my father and me and some other. I mean, I can give you stories for days of things my family has experienced with racism. But I didn't use it to hold it against white people forever. All white people aren't the same. It's like all black people aren't the same. And everybody's not like Hulk Hogan was. Got it. They're not all the same. Something else I can tell you about me. I have had the honor of getting very close to two, actually three now. It is three. Three co-workers turned friends who happen to be white. It's been more than three, but these are the three closest to me. I'll say it that way. And I don't want you to think I've only liked three white people my whole 30-something year career. No, I'm just saying these are the three that were the closest with me. Okay. And if any of them are watching, they know who they are. They know what I'm talking about. And we got to be very close. One of them has passed away. So may she rest in peace. Maybe she's watching from above. But one of the things that made us and kept us to be good friends all these years is that we were never afraid to have the uncomfortable conversations. The uncomfortable conversations. There's a book that's called Uncomfortable Conversations that I recommend you get and read. I've read it. Phenomenal. How to deal with having uncomfortable conversations. It's mainly in business, but the same principles can be applied in your personal life as well. So, yes, uncomfortable conversations. We would have these conversations about how we were raised, how we grew up, things that we've encountered, things that we thought before meeting people opposite of us. All those types of conversations. Two of these young ladies grew up in families that were racist. But use the N-word all the time. You better not bring one home. I don't want to have anything to do with them. Rap music is trash right off the bat. BET, what is that? Terrible. We don't need that. That's racist in itself. All the things, right? But for some reason, as they grew up and evolved, they chose not to be like their parents, mainly their fathers. But the wives, they just went along to get along. We all know what that is, right? So they chose not to be like their parents. That's why I can't accept this environmental conditioning excuse that Hulk Hogan tried to give all these years. No, these friends of mine made the decision. I will not be like that. I'm going to love everyone. And they do. And they love me. And I love them too. So this is who you're dealing with. This is the person before you talking on this subject, a person who's been exposed to many things, good and bad, dealing with people of the opposite race. And I'm telling you, when I heard about his comments both times, it's something I can't forget. It's here. It hurt me deeply. Even he's not my friend or anything, but Hulk Hogan was, like I said, larger than life. So yeah, it hurt. It did. And I'm sorry, but I can't accept those lame apologies that he gave all those years ago and now sit here and pretend like we've lost a legend and let that be it. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's like when I heard the news, Hulk Hogan dead at 71. My initial response was, what? Really? Oh my. Because we just had a rash of deaths recently. Hulk Hogan, another one, as far as famous people are concerned. And I was like, what? And then it went to, oh. And then it quickly went to, oh, okay, well. All right. All right. Did anybody see the latest episode of Tyler Perry's House of Pain last night? That's how it went. It was like that quick. Initially, shock. 3 or 4 seconds later, it went to brief sadness, like, oh, that's so sad. Oh. Then it went to, oh, well, shit. We are talking about the races. That's how it went. It went to, oh, well, what's next? So that's how it went for me. And that's where I'm at. I will put it this way. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family at their loss, because I'm sure they're grieving. I don't wish grief on anyone. I'm still in the throes of grief, missing my parents every day right now. I am that person, still grieving. So I don't wish grief on anyone. I don't wish death on anyone. But he's passed away. And I'm just like, okay, it's time to go to the store. Thoughts and prayers for his family, because they loved him. They miss him. They're grieving. Sharon is not grieving. I'm just like, okay, sorry he's gone for them. But for me, it's not that I don't care. I'm not saying this to be mean. This is not distasteful. I'm not laughing that he's dead. I'm not hating on his legacy. I'm not doing any of those things. I am just saying, for me, Sharon Mullen, the Black girl sitting here before you, the Black woman sitting here before you, that I cannot forget the things he said. So I'm not grieving the loss of a legend right now. That's all I'm saying. Sorry that for his family's grief, but Sharon is good over here. I'm good. I still grieve. I remember grieving the loss of Arthur Ashe back in the day. Pat Tillman when he died in combat. Who else? Arthur Ashe. Brian Piccolo way back in the day. But then you compare them to others, and it's like, well, their legacy wasn't as pristine. Should we really grieve them? Well, like I said earlier, Americans are forgiving, and we have long separated legacy from the person. People still playing R. Kelly music, y'all. I got it. People are still doing it, and that's fine for them. But for me, in my house, we're good over here. So with that being said, tell us how you feel in the comments. When you heard the news that Hulk Hogan passed away, were you sad? What came to mind? Did you only focus on his legacy and not, as far as wrestling is concerned and movies and so forth? Or did you also remember the seedy side? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Okay. And for my final thought of the day, I often say this. Um, it was determined that he died from a heart attack, so it was unexpected, and we never know when our time to go is, folks. So once again, give people their flowers while they're here. If you love them, let them know. If there is a problem that you have with them, there's something they said or did that didn't sit right with you, have a conversation with them, talk it out, resolve it, because you might be thinking they said or did something that they didn't even do, or you might think their motive was one thing and it was something else. Be sure to talk it out with them before they pass, before the heart attack comes, if it may come, God forbid. Because once they're gone, it's too late. You got to have these conversations. These uncomfortable conversations are necessary to right wrongs. I wish Hulk Hogan had tried to have these uncomfortable conversations. Maybe he should have done an Oprah episode where he was surrounded by Black people to talk it out. That could have changed his legacy with us. That could have maybe gotten him reinvited to the cookout. I don't know. Maybe he could have really changed how he felt, but he didn't do that. Don't wait. If somebody did or said something to you that hurt you, if you love them enough, you will talk to them about it. Stop saying this, well, I'm not ready. Let me tell you about this I'm not ready to talk about it yet thing. When you truly love a person and they've wronged you or you've wronged them, your need to resolve it will bubble up inside of you to the point where you can't keep it to yourself. You have to have the conversations. If it doesn't bubble up, you didn't love them that much in the first place. Or you're just a coward. It's one of the two. In Sharon's opinion, Chocolate Girl, it's one of the two. There's no gray area with that. So I encourage you, before it's too late, if there's someone that you need to resolve an issue with, resolve it. Be the brave one. Don't be a coward. Just be the brave one. Talk about it even though you're not ready. Because one day you may not be able to be ready because the person might be gone. Okay? So that's my final thought. You know, we always end with the final thought. So thank you for joining me today on the side, Jawn. I apologize again for being so late. I tell you, for the second time doing this show, first time without the camera on, I'm surprised my throat held up. It held up pretty good. But I thank you so much for listening and joining us today. And joining us today. We are here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m., unless there's technical difficulty, here on Facebook and YouTube. Hopefully my partner come back soon. Hope to see him. But join us next Saturday. I have some exciting news. Next Saturday, I'm going to have on Mindy Green of MG Beauty. She's a fashion and beauty expert. She often appears on morning news programs in the DMV area. And when I tell you she is Miss Bling Bling, Miss Fashion, Miss Makeup Extraordinaire, she is. She's the real deal. So come with your questions about fashion, skincare, makeup, for men and women. Come with your questions. I'll take questions from the comments for her. And who knows, I might be able to allow you to pop in on screen with us to ask the question. We might try that. But yeah, she'll be here next week, 10 a.m. on the side, Jawn. And as I always say, thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.